John Kirby of The Only Podcast. He joins us for a show of Fill in the Blank. Who is the best transfer other than Aidan Chiles? Do we like Jonathan Smith so far? We get into some basketball talk. Let's go.
You are Locked On Spartans, your daily podcast on the Michigan State Spartans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Today's episode of Locked On Spartans is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any $5 moneyline bet. That is $150. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn today to get started. Spartan friends, Spartan family, it's happened. The national nightmare has happened. We're recording middle of the day Monday, but let's just cut to the chase here. The confetti has fallen. Michigan has won the national title, and it's never going to get worse than this. All right, this is what we ended the show with yesterday. This is the worst it is ever going to get here, but we're going to get through it together. We're going to hold our Spartan hands one by one and march through this darkness, because one day there will be light. Now, on that note, John Kirby, how are you doing today? Are you doing okay right now?
Been better.
Okay.
I'm doing okay.
That's good. All right. Awesome. Yeah, there's no way to slice it. We ended yesterday's show talking about our game plan here when Michigan wins the national title. We're not going to take any accountability. You can take accountability to a lot of things in life, but right now when things are dire, no. We're going to point fingers. We're going to deflect. So congratulations, Ryan Day, James Franklin, Tommy Reese as well, the Alabama play caller, for getting the outcome of the national championship that you guys wanted. You idiots, you clowns, you frauds. So that's just all I got to say. Is it our fault? No, we had a bad year. We are a wounded animal. This has nothing to do with us. This has to do with everyone else. Fair or foul, John Kirby? What do you think about that strategy for moving forward here?
I think it's always safe to blame everybody else and never look inward. I think that's always a good strategy to deflect. So, yeah, I would say, I mean, you're not wrong in the sense that, like, James Franklin and Ryan Day, this has been that game that you had to win in for how many years now? For both of them. And I'll give Nick, Saban a little bit of grace, because like sometimes you zone out a little bit here and there. And
who's amongst us?
When you're on your second hand of rings, you're just kind of like,
who cares?
Playing Madden, like you're playing the Dynasty one. He's like, no, what are you gonna do? I like recruiting better anyway. You're like.
Exactly. And it's tough to win any game with a center that's just, throwing balls at your quarterback's ankles the entire game. But hey, I'm not upset about it. I'm totally over it. It's fine. It's all good in the hood over here. So that's all. Just wanted to address the big elephant in the room that, they've done it and it sucks. But hey, you know what? Just life in general kind of sucks, doesn't it, John? All right, moving forward on a happy note here. We're recording midday Monday. Just like I said, there's not a ton of Michigan State news to get to right now. The one piece of, headlines we'll get to is Maliq Carr has committed to Houston. There's some chatter on the timeline of Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And he tweeted this out. I don't know if you saw this, Kirby, because he tweeted this out like right before we started talking to each other. Okay. Maliq the Freak tweets out, "To be clear to all my Spartan fans, I was not wanted by the current coaching staff. It's all love to the MSU community." Well, thanks for clearing the air on that, Maliq, but I don't know why you would tweet that out. Like, hey, everyone, to make it unequivocally clear, I was not wanted. It wasn't me leaving. I wasn't the one who broke up with them. It was them that dumped me and told me I wasn't invited around the family anymore. Like, why? Why did you? I'm trying to wrap my brain around like who advised him to tweet that, why he would tweet that. I've got nothing over here. John, do you have any reason why a guy would just come out and say, "Hey, just want to make it very clear, I was actually not invited back," just to clear it all?
I guess he really liked it here.
Okay.
So that's why. Once you've had experienced pinball Pete's, like, I get it. Like, you don't want to. I get the rice. You have Rice Kitchen, and you're like, I'm never gonna get Chinese like that in Houston. So like, I kind of get it. But to your point, like, it's rare when you see the person saying they broke up with me, like in publicly, and everyone's like, "Sorry, man, that's tough." So
I wanted to make it very, very clear that it was my wife that told me that I, the deadbeat, am no longer around to be around the house or the children or anything. Again, in case anyone had any confusion, I was the problem here. Like, I had to read the tweet like 5 times to make sure I'm reading this all correctly. Like, okay, after a career of like questionable effort, okay, what a bang to end it on, I guess.
Good luck to him, I think is the
truly good luck to him. I do hope it all works out. I'm not a monster, and neither is he. It's just what a interesting few years it was here for Maliq Carr. Michigan State basketball legend Maliq Carr, I should say. Excuse me.
Good call. You know, how funny is that? He and Keon both left both programs. So that experiment's kind of over, I think.
I would say so, although Keon and Maliq Carr both had as many points, rebounds, and assists as Malik Hall did on Sunday night. So who's to say that any experiment's truly over? That was very mean. It was very not called for, and I really had to shoehorn that in there, but we'll get to Malik Hall later this show. Again, hey, I'm a Malik Hall defender. I've died on the Malik Hall sword many a time, but Sunday night, 26 minutes of cardio?
Yeah.
I don't have a leg to stand on over here. We're going to do a very creative, high-level game, John. It's called Fill in the Blank.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a sentence, and you just got to fill in the blank. You can interpret these questions or statements however you want. So let's just get off and running here. If anyone has any questions about how to play this game, just email me on the side, lockedonspartans@gmail.com. I'll hold your hand through this. John Kirby, number one. Other than Aidan Chiles, blank has been the biggest portal pickup so far.
Good question.
No shortage of options.
Yeah. I'm going to go with, fool me once with Texas A&M transfers.
Yeah, I know.
On paper, I love it. Tony Grimes. I love it. Trust me. I've just experienced some buyer's remorse with that. I also would like to consider Tanner Miller because I don't know if you've seen his profile pic, but it is incredible. He's got an amazing stash, flowing red hair. Looks alone makes me think this is a football guy.
So, sure. Oh, God, yeah. Oh, you can get 5.3 yards per carry behind that. No problem.
Confident with him. Yeah. So I think those two, and then I think it'll be nice to have. I'm stealing from Austin Smith, but Jack Veiling, the tight end. We need a tight end, dude. We haven't had a tight end since Josiah Price. So
it's a long time.
I stole 3. What do you think?
No, that's fine, please, because there really is no shortage of options here. But I am going to go with one of the guys that you named, and what's the saying? Once bitten, twice shy. That's kind of me with if Grimes transferred from anywhere other than Texas A&M as a former 5-star, that's clearly my number one choice. But since the whole Tumisi Adelaye, however you say his name, the guy whose only move was roughing the passer last year, I apologize for being a little gun shy to just go ahead and pick that. So I'm going to go with something else that I've actually been a little miffed about the last few years, actually, not just last year, but offensive line play. And anytime you can get a guy that is a second-team ESPN All-American in, just like you said, Tanner Miller, that's going to have to be it. Because I remember last year thinking, all right, the offensive line, their experience, we have one of the best offensive line coaches coaching these guys. We are going to rip and roar and ground and pound into this season. And then, Kirby, I don't know if you remember, but that Central Michigan game, there was not a defined push being brought by that offensive line. And I'm thinking,
Initially, I was scared. And then I really spin zoned it after we found out Connor Stallions was at that game. And I was like, we weren't giving him any tape. And then still unsolved, by the way, at Central Michigan.
Yeah. Maybe they're just gathering all the money that they owe us here. God, we got to have Odell Brentham on to let us know what the interest is of what Amy Fullen and CMU's athletic department owes us.
I hope he was able to fix enough vacuum cleaners to afford a ticket. He was more than earned his way down to the national championship game. I got a bonus one for you.
Please.
Bonus one. Tommy Schuster, North Dakota.
Okay, I love that. Love that.
I don't want him to play. Okay.
No.
That's not.
No.
It is cool to have someone who's thrown for 9,000 yards as your backup. I'm going to say that. And I super appreciate that he chose to come for vibes. Like, he knew he's not playing. And we always need a vibe guy. Like, Theo Day was the last vibe guy we've had. And I just feel like Tommy's going to step in as a grad senior, I think, and just vibe out. You know, QB3 on a Big Ten school. It's a good gig.
Get a nice degree, get some NIL money, and some sick sideline gear too.
Good swag, for sure. He's better than North Dakota swag.
Please, he's played it so right. It's been awesome.
Good move.
John, we got a few more to get to for football, and then we're going to switch things to basketball to end the show. But first, I'm so sorry I hate to do this to such a fine guest as you, but need to talk to people's ears off about Jase Medical, JASE Medical.com. Guys, I know that we come to sports to escape from this some of the realities of real life, but can we talk just for a minute about preparing for real life? According to the FDA, pharmacies are running out of antibiotics like amoxicillin right in the middle of the worst flu season in over a decade. And boy, howdy, that's a little scary. I'm not going to lie. I can't imagine a more helpless feeling than anyone that I know, family, friends, or hey, you know what? Even me, if I could be selfish for a little bit, just getting sick while a supply chain issue kept them from getting life-saving medication they needed. But thankfully, we are going to be okay because of Jase Medical. The Jase case is a pack of 5 different antibiotics to treat a long list of bacterial illnesses, including UTIs, respiratory infections, skin infections, and many more. This stuff could happen to any of us. So don't be caught unprepared. Visit jasemedical.com and complete your physician encounter. It will be reviewed by a board-certified physician, and your medications will be dispensed by a licensed pharmacy at a fraction of the regular cost. It's never been more important to be prepared than today. So go to jasemedical.com and use offer code LOCKEDON, all one word, for $20 off your order at jasemedical.com. All right, let's drag the one, the only John Kirby of the Only Podcast back here into the mix. We're doing some fill in the blank. And next up, this is a very basic one, but hey, let's just talk about the man for a little bit here. Blank is the most impressive part about Jonathan Smith. Now, let's be really nice to him because he is a loyal listener. I know he doesn't miss an episode of Locked On Spartans, so let's stroke his ego here for a little bit, John.
My man is ruthless. I didn't know. I think we're all like, does this guy have like it? You know, is he like? I need to see something. And when my man, who is the quarterback of one of the best stretches in Oregon State history, was the coach of one of the best stretches in history of his alma mater, decided he was going to drop off all of his clothes at Goodwill, like all of them, with his name on them. Like, I was like, this guy's he's got a dog in him. Like, this guy's ruthless. I like this guy. Like, I can't imagine putting myself in the shoes of, like, we love Michigan State, right? We didn't even suit up or coach for them.
No, certainly not.
Swinging over to the Goodwill in East Lansing and being like, headed to Bama, I'm out. Like,
y'all be well.
That's tough. And so
no, it is.
And like honestly, like the Maliq Carr thing, like this guy is doing things his way. Okay.
Yes.
And for better or worse, there seems to be a lot more control of things going on in the program. So that's my answer. How about you?
He has the appearance, and also like he comes off during these press conferences as like just the friendly neighbor that you could borrow your leaf blower from any given time. You know, he will check on your mail when you're out of a case. Like this is a man that is just so nice. You can trust with anything, but my God, if your dog poops in his yard and you don't pick it up, like he is egging your front door with 24 grade A eggs the following morning. Like, yeah, because there's no shortage of examples here. Just like you said, dumping off the clothes of Oregon State on the next thing, but also how about just like essentially kind of sort of telling Harlan Barnett to hit the bricks and best of luck at the next step of your life. Thanks for everything you did here to keep this program somewhat afloat. I can see the top of our hair, I guess. I don't know. That's being really nice, but see ya. Thank you. You can be a greeter at the stadium if you want to be, or you can leave. That's essentially it. But God, that is a great one. I got a boring one, just like how he's operating the transfer portal.
Okay.
How about that?
That's good. I mean, I don't
boring,
know.
But yeah, that's what I like.
But it's not boring because right now we are at like ground zero of figuring out how this all works and like figuring out how to assemble a roster. And to your point about him figuring out how to do the portal, he's been able to turn on the NIL spouts in ways that we're unaware of, at least to the general public.
Right.
And because he's getting these guys not for free, just be crystal clear. Right.
Oh yeah.
And he's getting these guys and he's building a roster much like a GM would in the NFL. And that's the new era of college football. So if he has a plan, that's great, because the last regime didn't. And so, or at least it was a flawed one. And so this one, we're taking a different approach. And, you know, I'm very thankful that at least looks like we're trying something different.
And it just seems stable, I guess is the word. And just like you said, like by and large, the general public, I mean, even myself included, we don't know a lot about like the inner workings of NIL, but Aidan Chiles didn't come here just because he really liked crunchies, you know, like he didn't essentially hang up on Lincoln Riley, who's, you know, that powerful program in his own backyard, just because he really liked SBS, MSU, and all the cool swag they had to offer. Like NIL is a thing here. And also, well, all the guys that you recruited back as well. I'm sure NIL played a part in that too. So is it driving more money from donors? Is it just having a more clear picture of the landscape and being more definitive of what you want to do? Probably a combination of all that, but good God, when does this guy ever sleep? Because that's just only one part of the job here that you get as a college coach. So yeah. Okay. We're riding really high right now. So let's just keep it going. You know what? I was going to say a word, but I'll let you figure out the word right here.
Okay.
Here we go. Daydreaming about a 10-2 Michigan State team making the playoff in 2024 is blank.
Wild. That is a wild thought. I had never even considered it until this moment. And now I'm
Do it.
Yes. I blindly in without knowing the full roster. The best part about January is like everyone takes a look at the schedule and can be like, could probably get that one. Could probably pick that one up. Couple bounces go our way. We could probably go win. So I'm all in on it. I don't even know. I think 2 losses might be too many. I don't know.
I did give us a buffer. You know what? I did give us a buffer here. No, because I usually reach this point in the off season in August. You know, it usually takes me the entire off season to really talk myself into screw it. 10-2. We're going to the Cotton Bowl again. It's going to be great, but I don't know if it's because basketball's struggling yet again. I don't know if that I'm just so high on the supply that Jonathan Smith is bringing to East Lansing. I don't know if maybe even some of it has to do with Michigan just winning the national title, and I just want to speed run myself through the offseason just doldrums straight into delusion of 10-2. But, I mean, Kirby, like just like you said, like we're looking at these teams like road game at Boston College. Sure, it's a road game. They just went to a bowl game, but Spartans by 20. I mean, come on, chalk it up. I do have to correct myself from a previous episode. I said that Talia Tagovailoa is out of eligibility. We won't see him again next year. Turns out he can still play college football. He's been around since 2017. Whatever. We got to beat him one of these times, right? We're just due for a win, Kirby. So you throw that up in there. Now, the 2 losses, we're not going to win at Oregon. I'm going to be reasonable here. And then let's say that at Michigan trips you up as well. You beat Ohio State at home, okay, and then the Iowa game's the next hardest game. So really 10-2, okay, is insane. Like this is not a healthy way of living life. But
I could talk. If you force me, I could tell you how they win every one of these games. They win, but I can lie to you if you want. And anyone ever wants, I will spin zone you to a dub.
We had an emailer write in a great question. It was what's worst case, best case, and real case scenario for the season. I think this is when I started to daydream too. It's because I went through the best case and I spat out 11-1. The only loss I had was at Oregon. You're not going to win that. But Ohio State, I'm like, no Marvin Harrison. Yeah, that's just one player out of, you know, how many draft picks they'll have. And then, Michigan's going to lose a lot. They got to reload as if they don't have incredible talent. This is a lot of just sweeping stuff under the rug, but that didn't stop me from getting to like 11-1. But hey, 10-2 in the 12-team playoff, it's not a guarantee. I did go back and look at all the previous rankings from previous years. It's not a guarantee that a 10-2 Power 5 team gets in the playoff, but it is a very high clip. So let's do it.
I like it, and those are 2 reasonable losses. You know, we're talking to the committee right now. You know, we had some solid, and also don't throw out the Oregon game. Like our guy was, spin zone in here. Jonathan Smith, he was I wasn't on the ball in the last game at Oregon. He was on the phone maybe every time out with, working out the contract with us.
Yes.
So he didn't have his eye on the ball. So now he's focused, and he has not forgotten what happened. He's coming in with more talent than he did with the Oregon State team, and they aren't taking him seriously. Okay. So I'm just telling you, this is don't overlook that Oregon game as a loss already.
I remember reading a story about Tiger Woods. This was years ago, but he would be at a tournament, but he would hit shots getting prepared for the Masters. So like he'd just be like, okay, I don't need to hit like this 120-yard draw, but I know I will have this shot at the Masters. I'm going to start practicing right now. Maybe that's what Jonathan Smith was doing. Oregon State versus Oregon. He was coaching as if he had Michigan State's players.
Give him bad tape.
Give that, muddy up the tape. See, you get it. Did I say 11-1? No, I meant 12-0. I'll fill my own blank. Daydream about a 10-2 MSU making the playoff is a cry for help that someone should probably test for a gas leak in my house, but nothing that I will stop doing. I know it's a very long blank I just filled out, but that's what we got here. Do you want to do basketball in a little bit here, Kirby?
I love it. Why not bring the mood down?
Excellent. That is what I'm talking about. But first, I need to talk to people's ears off about FanDuel Sportsbook, the number one sportsbook in America. The NFL regular season is all wrapped up, but there's still plenty of time to get in on the action with FanDuel, America's number one sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's right. This beautiful slate of weekend playoff games. Don't look at the spreads. Don't worry about laying the points or anything like that. Just place your $5 bet if you're a new customer, and win or lose, that is $150 in bonus bets. FanDuel is so easy to use, and there are many different ways to bet, like the live same-game parlays. You can make a parlay that is popular in the streets with their Parlay Hub, the best way to find popular parlays, and also find bets in the new Explore tab as well. Again, this is the best app for gambling that you will find out there. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and make your first bet a layup. It's FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. And we welcome back the wonderful John Kirby here, friend of the program. Always a great time talking to you, man. So really do appreciate your time. With that said, I see the smile on your face. Let's wipe that off right now.
Let's do that.
It's basketball time, Kirby. I'll skip right to him. Let's just cut to the chase. Okay. Maliq Hall is blank. Maliq Hall is blank. Interpret that any way you want.
Volatile.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a little blame that can be laid on. Again, never look inward for blame. He should be blamed.
No. Correct. Yeah. Yes.
In all seriousness, he probably needs to demand the ball a bit more. There are, Tyson Walker is going to get his shots. Don't worry about that. Jaden Akins seems to get his shots. Maliq Hall from game to game will go from many shots to very few. And, that I think is also a result, not just of him asking for the ball. I think AJ Hoggard as a point guard of a team needs to understand where you need to be getting points from people, and you have to understand that you need to help get Maliq going. The track record is there. If it's Tyson versus everyone, you lose. You have to get other people involved. And if you're the point guard, you're the only one that can really do that. So am I blaming AJ for Maliq Hall's shortcomings? Absolutely. But that comes with being a point guard at Michigan State, unfortunately. So volatility is where he's at. But when he's playing his best, Michigan State's for real. When he's not, we are unserious. So
that's kind of what maybe bothered me about the whole stat line of the Northwestern game is that only 4 shots from Maliq Hall. And whether that's all on him, all on AJ, or some combination of them, it's like, Maliq, you literally just had your best career game, arguably, just the following game against Penn State. Like, and it's very clear too at this point. I don't know if he knows it, he should know it, but he is the best scoring option on that low block. It's certainly not one of your centers. It is you.
Yep.
We can't survive here with you just taking 4 shots, my man. Like, I get that maybe your shot was a little off, they're not falling, but come on. Like, we just another turnaround or two wouldn't kill us. I mean, especially when we're already down 12, but.
And he's so gun shy. He's so shy right now with the 3-point. He's only shooting like 27%, and everyone's going to keep giving him that, So you take the corner 3, you can't hesitate on it, and he's got to get his confidence back.
My fill in the blank, I'm going to just be selfish. I'm going to make this entirely all about me, all about this show, because I just have a very high ego, apparently. But Maliq Hall is a byproduct of Locked On Spartans. We jinxed the living daylights out of everything. And after the Penn State game, I took a victory lap saying, that's right, haters, suck it. I told you Maliq Hall was good. And then, well, there you go. And now that we are poo-pooing him for the second straight episode, I get ready for 33, 12, and 6 against Illinois on Thursday. So it's just, I just never. When it comes to players that are like great game one game on a milk cart in the next game, like you know what I mean? Like there's such a roller coaster. Like who's the biggest roller coaster player to memory for Michigan State for you?
Oh man. Well, I was immediately thought of Russ Westbrook when you're talking about
that plays. That's fine.
But as it relates to Michigan State, man, it felt like, most recently, Rocket Watts as a freshman was just like hit or miss.
That's strong.
Then I think there was another, Julius Marble would just sometimes not make an appearance in the box score, and other times he was the best low block scoring threat. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing some people. Who do you think?
Oh, I'm scrolling way back here. If you're a college kid right now, you might not even know who this is. But Raymar Morgan, I remember, was always like 2 elite games, 3 games off. Go through the game logs too if any of you have time. Because I was thinking about this. This was a few months ago in the summer where I was just bored. I was like, was I right to think about Raymar Morgan like that? And sure enough, if you go back, it's like 22 points, 8 rebounds. Next game is 3 points, 1 assist.
How about Brandon Dawson?
I love Brandon Dawson. That's so near and dear to my heart, but it's true, unfortunately, I think. Yeah.
He had to get his motor going. He was going. He was unstoppable, but for some reason, he just wasn't all there sometimes.
All right, John. This might be the last one. We'll see how much time we have after this one, but listeners, if you have listened to the show, you know how just anal I am about bracketology and everything like that, and just where Michigan State's going to be seated. I start looking at bracketology before the Thanksgiving turkey even hits the table. So for this last one, MSU finishes the season as a blank seed. Now, I will offer context. I'm not going to leave everyone out there high and dry. Right now, Bart Torvik tells you that you are a 6 seed. Okay, sure. And then you can work your way up to a 4 seed if the rest of the season is chalk. They have you underdogs in 3 games. So you win all the other ones. You go 1-1 in the Big Ten tournament. Okay, they say you can climb it to a 4 seed. Now, Joe Lunardi has you as a 7 seed. That was before the Northwestern game. Something called clutch points. Whatever. They have you as a 7 seed. That was even after the Northwestern game. And 131 Sports has you as a 9 seed right now after the Northwestern game. So those are just a few seeds of where people and computers have you at right now. But Kirby, no one's going to like this answer. But what are you feeling?
It's really a fluffy schedule the rest of the way.
Which is good and bad.
It's good and bad, right? You got to start stacking wins, but those wins aren't going to do much for you as far as the numbers are concerned. So I think as I look, there are 3 quad 1 games left, 4 quad 1 games left on the schedule, all of which, 3 of which are away, and we know how well they're playing.
Great. Awesome.
So it's like, I don't want to give up on those, but you need to start notching quad 1 wins to be moving up the seed lines, because wins at home against Minnesota do very little for me or the committee.
Right.
So I'm going to land on 7 for now, because while the numbers might look okay, the record doesn't, and these are people that are also putting you in the tournament, and there's an eye test too. And while they're not getting blown out, the win-loss is going to be a little yucky, probably. But I don't know, 7. But again, that doesn't mean anything. This was a team that was a bucket away from the Elite 8 as a 7 seed. So what do you
it's just downright pathetic and just depressing, which I guess that's how we're going to sandwich this show. We're going to start it absolutely depressing and end it absolutely depressing. This is what you get here on Locked On Spartans, your team 5 days a week. Is that when you said 7 seed, mentally I was like, oh, great, sold. Yeah, I'd take that. It's like, God, that's so I hate it here, man.
Making it would be good. We should start with making the tournament.
That's true.
And that was going to happen by not losing the bunnies. Let's make some layups against Minnesota, Rutgers at home. Let's get it going here, boys.
We'll do this one quick. The 5-game win streak was blank.
Refreshing, but
Okay.
also for this program, the standard. So it's hard for me to get too excited when 5 players are seniors or upperclassmen, or super seniors, and like they're stumbling through an identity crisis. Like, grow up, man. Get a job. Like, we gotta grow up. And so it was refreshing. And I think if you want to get really positive spin zone on it, is there's a contending team in there. Whether they all show up together is yet to be proven on a regular basis.
They need to play close in March. I forgot what the closest first 2-round site would be, but then get in that Detroit region, and then bada bing, bada boom, Final Four, chalk it up. No, because I think people are on two ends of the spectrum here. I think that they're either going to say like savior, like that 5-game stretch saved our season, which can be true. I mean, if you limped out of that 3-2 or 4-1, could be really dicey in the tournament. Or, I mean, I know that other fans are going to say, "Oh, it was a mirage, like it was all just for nothing." But I don't know. It was here's a really lame way to end it. It was just nice. I had some two fun wins against some solid teams in there. We deserved it. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah,
we deserve that one as fans. Never mind the players, but it was just nice.
Sometimes it's just nice to win one.
Isn't it? Yeah. To like be happy about a sports season for a 2-week stretch.
That was fun. I liked it.
Crazy. So
we should try it again sometime.
We should try that again. That's right. FAU and Louisiana. That's right. We got you in our sights next September. John, this is great. Anything you want to plug here before we let you go and enjoy the rest of your week and just fighting off happy Michigan fans? And
sure. Don't let the Michigan fan in your life tell you that the cheating didn't affect the national.
Oh, no.
And the point of fact is that in 2021 to 2022 seasons happened. And those seasons also had cheating. And all of those games were very much in doubt, at least a handful of them. And if the team doesn't win those games, do people come back? Do you land some of these amazing transfer portal guys? Does the coaching staff stay? Does Harbaugh go? See, there's a lot more than just what happened this season.
It's the ripple effect of a butterfly's wing. Yep. Oh, this is all a sham.
It's a shame.
That's what I'll keep telling myself. That's what I'll keep telling myself. So that's, but yeah, here on Locked On Spartans, it is ABD. Always be deflecting. Like, so that is never our fault when things are this dire. Like, look, if I back into someone in a parking lot, sure, I'll exchange insurance information or whatever. But like, if it's as bad as this, no, we are spiraling and we are deflecting, baby. So that's I just want to make that very clear. So there we go. Kirby, this is always fun. Always a hoot and a half. Go listen to you and Austin on the only podcast, if it's still going to be a thing. You told me before we started recording that if Michigan wins, this is going to be a now defunct program. But
no, not the secret's out. No,
whatever.
We're going to grind through this basketball season. We love our basketball son too much to give up. So
I know it's tough. Yeah, it's tough. But hey, until next time, here, Locked On Spartans. If you have any fill in the blanks you want to send over just for me to answer or our next guest to answer, hey, lockedonspartans@gmail.com. But hey, until next time, love every single one of you. I truly mean that. We're going to get through all this together, guys. Go Green.